Suddenly, a benevolent angel appeared on Earth who was turning poor people into millionaires overnight. So, this is going to be a unique story today. Let's begin. At the start of the story, we see a man named Arch waking up inside an incredibly expensive car. He is completely shocked, wondering whose car this is. He clicks the home button on the car's map, and that Tesla drives him automatically to a luxurious mansion. There, a man named Jeff meets him and says, "Sir, I am your assistant." Hearing this, Arch asks in surprise, "Hey, whose house is this?" Jeff replies, "Sir, this is your house. What happened to you?" Still, Arch doesn't want to believe it, so he goes upstairs to look around, asking himself, what is all this? There, he sees pictures of himself that he never even took. Just then, an angel named Gabriel suddenly appears. Gabriel tells him, "I have swapped your life with Jeff's life." Actually, Arch was so surprised because, in real life, he was Jeff's assistant. Gabriel did all this so that Arch would understand that the idea that someone else's life is much better than his is wrong. Everyone has their own problems in life, and he fully believed that within a week, Arch would want to return to his old life. But Arch is very happy getting this luxurious life. He starts enjoying his life comfortably. Later, while lying comfortably in the swimming pool, he reminds Gabriel, "Do you remember what my life was like? How much I had to struggle every single day? And you think I will leave all this and go back to my old life? Never." Then, Arch's old life is shown to us. We see Arch texting someone while driving. At this time, Gabriel was also sitting right behind him. Suddenly, a truck comes in front of the car. Seeing this, Gabriel draws Arch's attention to the front just in time, saving him from an accident. Actually, Gabriel's job is exactly this: saving people who use phones while driving from accidents. Next, we see Arch standing outside a shop where there is a very long line. This was actually a way for Arch to earn extra income. He works for a platform called Task Sergeant, where you can earn good money by doing small tasks for other people. He learned documentary filmmaking in college, but for a long time, he hasn't found any good work in the media. That is why, to feed himself, he has to do all these strange jobs. Today he is standing in line for someone else, and he would get good money for this task. But after Arch waits in line for 2 hours, the shopkeeper finally comes out and says, "Our buns are finished." After this, the person who gave him the job cancels the order, and Arch doesn't earn a single penny today. Gabriel keeps watching everything from a distance. Along with this work, Arch works another job at a grocery store at night. He was at his job at this time. Just then, a girl named Elena comes to meet him. She asks Arch, "How is the work environment here? Are you happy doing this work?" Actually, Elena wants to form a workers' union so that they can at least pressure the owners to get something. But Arch says, "Drop it. Nothing will change by doing this. Don't waste my time with nonsense." Then, at night, they meet again at a taco shop. Arch was very tired today. He wasn't sleeping properly either. They have some conversation about this matter, and they both share a laugh. Gabriel sees them from a distance. After finishing work, Arch goes to his car and falls asleep there because he sleeps in his car. Actually, he didn't even have money for a motel room. When his father's call comes, he lies and says, "Yes, Dad, I've taken a new apartment. It's very good." Then Arch plays a podcast on his phone to sleep. But even to remove ads from that, it asks for $6. Seeing this, Gabriel feels very sorry for him. So, the next day we see Gabriel at a meeting of angels, where all angels have different jobs here. There is an angel named Azrael here who helps people fix their lives. People who have become very frustrated with life, Azrael shows them the path of light. He gives them a purpose to live. Gabriel listens to Azrael's words intently, and he also wants to do some good deed. Then he tells his manager angel, Martha, "I want to save a lost soul." Martha says, "Look, this is a very difficult task. You won't be able to do it. First, you have to find a person who is in deep trouble. Then, you have to help him somehow. None of this is that easy." In response, Gabriel says, "I know a person who is suffering a lot. That poor guy has no happiness in his life at all." Martha replies, "This is not your job. Your job is to save people from accidents. And go quickly now, because Elena is about to have an accident. Save her, or there will be a lot of trouble in their lives." But Gabriel's attention was still on Arch. He couldn't save Elena from having an accident. Fortunately, Elena wasn't hurt too badly in that accident. However, her date with Arch just gets postponed. Meanwhile, Arch keeps doing various kinds of odd jobs all day long. He didn't even get a moment to sleep. And amidst all this, he finds a good job. He arrives to work at the house of a very wealthy man named Jeff. He is given the task of cleaning Jeff's garage. At that time, Jeff is enjoying his life among the rich. He plunges into cold water for 3 minutes. Then, he takes a steam bath for 15 minutes. During this time, Arch organizes his garage perfectly. Seeing Arch's excellent work, Jeff says, "You have done a very nice job. I will give you a 5-star rating." So, seizing the opportunity, Arch asks him, "Are you handling everything alone? Do you need an assistant? If you do, you can hire me." Jeff already liked Arch's work. Also, Jeff appreciates that Arch actually wants to do something for him. So he says, "You can work with me for a 1-week trial. If I like it, I will keep you on the job." So Arch now starts performing the duties of Jeff's assistant very well. He does everything for Jeff, from arranging food to planning parties. Jeff was actually extremely wealthy. He casually buys a watch for $5,600 just like that. And later, he gives Arch his company card, and he tells Arch, "Whatever expenses incur for the tasks I tell you to do, you can pay for all of them using this card." Getting this job makes Arch's life a little better. Today, instead of sleeping in his car, he goes to a hotel to sleep. So now, the next day, Arch starts getting ready to go on a date with Elena. And he tells his boss, Jeff, "Boss, today I am going on a date with Elena." Hearing this, Jeff asks him, "Are you going to wear this shirt? I have a nice jacket too. It's a little small for me, but I hope it will be perfect for you." Saying this, Jeff gives him quite a few clothes. And along with that, he gives Arch the address of a restaurant and says, "Go there. It's not too expensive, but they serve pretty good food." So Arch goes on the date with Elena to that very restaurant Jeff mentioned. Jeff had recommended 2 dishes here, but seeing their prices, both of them are shocked. They order various cheap items. But despite this, the bill comes out very high. Arch didn't even have enough money to pay the bill. So hesitatingly, he uses the card Jeff gave him. And now, the next day when Jeff finds out about this, he asks Arch, "Why did you use my card for your own food?" In reply, Arch says, "Boss, I wanted to tell you. Actually, the restaurant you mentioned was beyond my means, so I was forced to use the card. Otherwise, I would have lost my dignity. Don't worry, boss, I will pay back the money." But to Jeff, this feels like a betrayal. So he fires Arch, saying, "I can't trust you anymore because I trusted you and gave such a major card into your hand, which you used as you pleased." Hearing this, poor Arch gets terribly hurt, but there was nothing to do. So Arch takes all his belongings and leaves from there. Poor Arch loses this job too, and he doesn't find any work on Task Sergeant either. So, to earn some money, he now has to donate his own blood. Afterwards, he feels a bit sick, and a little weakness overcomes his body. So he sits in a shop and falls asleep there. And just then, the watchman wakes him up and says, "Let's go. It's time to close the restaurant now. You have to leave." Then Arch comes outside and sees that the police are towing his car away. Seeing this, poor Arch completely breaks down. And watching all this, Gabriel realizes that Arch is indeed a soul in deep distress. He comes to Arch and says, "I am an angel." He shows his wings and says, "I know everything about your life." He also tells Arch, "Don't worry. Something very good is about to happen in your life." He shows Arch his future life, in which he will work for a food delivery truck. And in that job, there will be so much pressure on Arch that he won't even have time to pee. He will be given a bottle, and he will have to pee into it. He also says, "You sleep in a car now, but later, when you shift to Elena's mother's house with her, you will see that Elena's sister and her boyfriend also live there. And there is a small house for 5 people, meaning your situation in the future is going to get even worse. But you think all of this will be good for you, right?" But without knowing it, instead of encouraging Arch, Gabriel was depressing him even more. Then Gabriel says, "Don't worry, you won't stay here for long. You will need a job, and the 2 of you will shift to another place. But even there, you will have a bit less money. Your dog will get sick, but you won't even have the money to treat the dog. Yet, you will still be happy." Hearing all this, Arch says, "I can't live such a pathetic life. If you can, make my future a little better. Otherwise, I will take my own life." Hearing this, Gabriel tells him, "Look, I don't have permission to do any of this. See my wings? They are a little small, aren't they? Actually, I am a low-level angel, but I want to help you from my heart. I want to make you a very big man. I want to make your life very valuable." But Arch says, "Hey, instead of motivating me, you made me depressed. Who would want to live such a pathetic life? Jeff is the one enjoying real life. He has kept people like us just to serve him. But to prove Arch wrong and to show that Jeff's life isn't perfect either, that he also has problems in his life, Gabriel swaps their lives with each other. And now the story reaches the point where it started. Arch starts enjoying being rich very much. Just then, Jeff suddenly comes to him and says, "Sir, get ready for the meeting." Hearing this, Gabriel thinks, okay, now Arch will understand that it's not just comfort, he has to go to meetings too. But the meeting was very easy. They just keep talking about casual things and push the entire cost of the dinner onto the company. So now when Arch comes home, he sees a man has come to fix the pool heater. He says the heater has gone completely bad and it will take $35,000 to fix it. Gabriel says, "See Arch, such a huge expense. How difficult it is to live a life like the rich. So much money is spent." But Arch says, "Oh, I have a lot of money. Such a small amount is nothing to me." He tells the mechanic, yes, don't worry about the money. Change the heater as fast as you can." After this, he arrives at the shop where he and Elena used to work together. Elena has forgotten everything about him, and now Arch gets introduced to Elena anew. This time, he takes her on a date to that restaurant again, and he orders that expensive dish which he had skipped last time just because he didn't have money. Not only that, the restaurant staff also keeps saying, "Sir, we are very happy to serve you food. It is our good fortune that you came to our restaurant. So today's meal is a gift from us. You don't have to pay any bill either." So now after the date, Elena and Arch kiss each other today. So a week later, Gabriel comes to him again and says, "1 week is over. Do you want to return to your own life now?" He thinks that perhaps Arch is missing his old life. Maybe he has realized the value of his old life. But Arch says, "No, never. I find this life amazing. Why would I go back to my old poor life?" Just then, we learn that Gabriel cannot send Arch back to his real life without his will. Meaning, if Arch wants, he can spend his whole life living this life. And for now, looking at Arch, he didn't seem to be in the mood to return at all. For this reason, Martha scolds Gabriel a lot. She says, "What have you done? I gave you a small task to just nudge people a little to alert them so that accidents don't happen. But instead of doing that, you have turned a man's life upside down. You didn't even help Elena. Because of this, she had an accident, and their date had to be postponed. Not only that, you have changed Arch's life completely. You shouldn't have done this." Martha tells Gabriel, "Until you fix everything back to how it was, I am taking your wings. You won't regain your status as an angel until everything is right. So if you want to be an angel again, fix everything quickly." So now, the scene shifts to Arch's party. Gabriel rushes there to meet him. Now, other people can see Gabriel too, because he isn't an angel anymore. Gabriel asks him, "Isn't what you're doing unfair to Jeff?" But Arch doesn't pay any attention to his words. So, unable to get through to Arch, Gabriel goes to Jeff and restores his memories. Jeff is shocked to see all this. Why is he working in his own house? This is his house. This is his party. Unable to bear such a huge shock, he faints right there. After regaining consciousness, Jeff is fully explained that his life was actually the life of a multimillionaire, but now he is working for Arch. So he tells Arch, "Give me my life back, bro." He further adds, "Come on, Arch, let's make a deal. If you agree to go back to your own life right now, I will give you $100,000. Hearing this, Arch shouts, "Hey, my watches are worth more than that. What a cheap guy you are." Seeing all this, Gabriel tells Jeff again, "You don't have permission to do this. You can't swap lives by offering bribes to each other like this." But then Jeff shows sympathy towards Arch and says, "Look, brother, I really didn't know that you didn't even have a home to live in. You were in such a bad state. Otherwise, I would never have fired you. But for a minor mistake, you're going to steal my entire life? What kind of justice is that?" Gabriel tries to reason with Arch here. Look, doing this isn't right at all because Jeff built this position for himself with a lot of hard work. Hearing all this, Arch says, "Look, give me some time. At least give me a chance to enjoy this a little more. Then I will go back to my exhausting life." In response, Jeff says, "Okay, I am giving you time." At the same time, Arch challenges Jeff, "Spend these few days living the life of a common man. Then you will understand how poor people live. Feel the struggles of their lives a little bit." In response, Jeff shows off and says, "If I were in your place, I could have easily gone from poor to rich." Then Jeff starts to leave, but Gabriel stops him, saying, "I need a place to stay too." To help him, Jeff takes him along and they sleep in a hotel bed. But early in the morning, the staff arrives there. They say, "It's time for you to check out. And if you don't check out now, pay for an extra day." But Jeff somehow convinces him, saying, look, I will give you all the money tonight. And now, the next day, Jeff starts working for Task Sergeant just like Arch. He couldn't even drive that car without Arch's 360 camera. While reversing, he even hits another car. But Gabriel keeps helping him fully from his side. Jeff was beginning to understand how much struggle poor people actually go through in their lives. Robots are taking people's places, and on top of that, if customers find any fault with the food, they start screaming and shouting, or even get physical. Actually, Jeff had come to deliver an order today, where he tries to explain to the buyer, "Brother, I didn't pack this. Maybe there was a mistake in packing." But the guy says, "You ruined it. I will give you 1 star. You just watch, I will finish your job." So after working all day, Jeff finds out that he will get the money for today's work a week later. He calculates and says, "We burned more money and gas than we made from deliveries. We made a loss, brother. This means the 2 of them have to sleep in this car tonight." On the other hand, Arch was having a lot of fun with his life. He continues to enjoy himself with Elena. One night, he asks Elena, "Will you go to Paris with me this weekend?" But Elena says, "I have a meeting for the labor union I want to create, so I probably can't go." In response, Arch asks her to move the meeting to another day. Actually, he wants the 2 of them to visit Paris together once. He wants to do this one last thing before returning to his unemployed life. But amidst all this, the conversation goes a bit wrong. Elena really doesn't like that Arch thinks her work is small. Elena says, "My life might be small, but it is important to me. You stay in this luxurious bungalow of yours. I am happy with my ordinary life." So, because Elena left angrily, Arch gets quite hurt. He keeps sending continuous messages to Elena while driving so that she replies quickly. For this reason, he suddenly gets into a terrible accident. Gabriel informs Jeff that Arch has gone into a coma due to the accident. When Gabriel tells Jeff this, Jeff shouts at Gabriel, "Wasn't it your job to stop people from using phones while driving? How did you make such a big mistake?" Then Gabriel says, "How could I save him? I was with you." Anyway, all in all, now they have to wait for a few days, because until Arch regains consciousness, they cannot exchange lives with each other. On the other hand, because he couldn't save Arch from the accident, Gabriel is stripped of his angel status. Until he fixes everything, he will remain a human. So, now because he has become human, Gabriel starts feeling very hungry. So, Jeff teaches him how to eat a burger. Gabriel becomes very happy eating human food for the first time. Meanwhile, Jeff checks online and sees that ordinary people usually come out of a coma within 2 weeks. And to survive these 2 weeks, he decides that tomorrow he will go to his old office because he knows a lot of information about his business. For this reason, when he goes to his own office and shows off his knowledge, everyone will think he is probably a genius. And in this way, maybe he will get a very good job in his own office. But actually, when Jeff goes to his office, the guards there push him out. Instead of a genius, they mistake him for a hacker. They say, "How do you know so much about our company?" On the other hand, after calling repeatedly, the hospital staff can't say anything about Arch because they cannot leak anyone's personal information. Meanwhile, Gabriel becomes busy doing all the activities like a human. He happily uses the internet for the first time and says, "Look, I'm showing you a baby elephant." Irritated by such actions, Jeff says, "Brother, look, now you also have to get a job. I alone cannot bear the expenses for 2 people. So, here Gabriel starts working as a dishwasher in a restaurant. And a few days later, when he gets his first salary, seeing the different taxes, he loses his mind. He says, "I earned the money and the government took all the money in taxes? What kind of injustice is this?" So a person working with him here informs him, "You might have to work another job. I myself make money by working 3 jobs. So now Gabriel also had to endure all the problems just like a human. Meanwhile, Arch wakes up from the coma after all these days. The nurse tells him, "2 men were asking about you a lot. If you recognize them, give them a call once." Just then, an evil plan comes into Arch's head. He tells the nurse, "When a person wakes up from a coma, sometimes they lose their memory too, right?" In response, the nurse nods, "Yes." And now Arch decides that he will pretend to lose his memory. Just at that time, Jeff gets a food delivery order. That address was for his own luxurious bungalow, inside which Arch is sitting in his place. Jeff realizes that Arch has probably woken up from the coma. He goes inside the house very angrily, but there, Arch starts acting as if he doesn't recognize him at all. Acting here, Arch says, Brother, I don't know you. And sorry, I don't remember anything either. Tell me, who are you?" Poor Jeff couldn't understand whether this really happened to him or if Arch was lying to him. He goes and informs Gabriel about all these events. Jeff becomes frustrated and says, "Look, let me talk to the Creator. I want to talk to him. I want to know how he could do such an injustice to me." In response, Gabriel says, "Look, brother, I don't have any power anymore. I have become a human just like you." Along with that, he had also started smoking cigarettes. Due to the pain and suffering of all these days, Angel Gabriel has now become a chain smoker. Jeff asks him, "Will you just keep washing dishes? Will you keep smoking cigarettes? Or do you want to get your angel life back too?" Hearing this, an idea comes into Gabriel's head. He says, "All this mess started when I couldn't do my job, meaning I couldn't do the job of saving Elena from the accident. If I can bring Elena's life onto the right track, then maybe Arch will come to the right track on his own. And it might be that he will want to return to his own life." Meanwhile, Elena tries to motivate people by giving big speeches in front of the workers. Her intention was that a union should be formed with all the workers, but then she loses by a huge margin because most people voted no. Seeing all this, Gabriel gets very hurt. On the other hand, Jeff was also fired from his food delivery job, because that company will now use robots instead of humans. Frustrated, he says, "This is becoming very difficult. How do ordinary people do all this? In my old life, I only used to spend vacations and attend a few small meetings." Just then, the police arrived there, and because Jeff's car already had parking tickets, his car gets confiscated. Along with that, the police officer tells him, "The longer the car stays here, the more your costs will increase." Seeing all this, Jeff falls into extreme frustration. He starts thinking, if a poor person wants to progress in this country, how will he do it? Gabriel says, all this happened to Arch too. That is probably why he doesn't want to return to this life anymore. So now Jeff doesn't see any way to return to his old life, and if this continues, they will have to die of starvation. Just then he remembers, "Hey, I have many expensive watches lying around, and I know the password to my house vault." Then they arrive at Jeff's old house, where a party was going on then. Today is Jeff's 40th birthday, which Arch is celebrating in his place. Gabriel keeps saying, "Hey brother, stealing doesn't seem right at all. If we get caught, everyone will beat us up together." But in response, Jeff says, "All this belongs to me, so how is it stealing?" Just then we see that Arch has already copied Jeff's dance moves. Seeing this, Jeff gets very angry. Anyway, he goes inside and hides so that he can get his watches whenever he gets a chance. Here at the party, Gabriel eats chocolates laced with bhang, as a result of which Gabriel becomes completely intoxicated. He grabs a stranger girl and starts telling her the whole story of him being an angel and then becoming a human again from an angel. Fortunately, Elena comes to work as a waitress at Arch's party again. Here, after the party ends, Arch tells Elena, "Please wait for a while. I want to spend some time with you." Then the two start dancing together. Here Elena tells him, "You were right. All my time making that labor union was wasted. Workers just don't understand what's good for them at all. I alone cannot fight this system." She says, "Come on, as you said, let's visit Paris together once. Maybe if I can't do this, my life will just go to waste." Hearing this, Arch tells her, "Absolutely not. Don't think small of yourself like this. As long as there are people like you, this world can truly change. If you give up, then nothing will happen." So after all this, Arch goes to sleep, and Jeff starts advancing to take the watches. He even takes out many expensive watches. And now, at the last moment, just when he is about to leave from there, Arch comes with his gun and fires randomly. One of the bullets hits Jeff's shoulder. Jeff starts shouting, "Hey, are you crazy or what? Why are you shooting?" Arch reminds him, "Hey, when I was your assistant, you said that if anyone enters your room to disturb your sleep, I should immediately shoot him in the head." As soon as he hears this, Jeff immediately understands, "Okay, so you remember everything. You didn't have any memory loss or amnesia." So, hearing their screams, Gabriel also runs there. Then they take Jeff to the hospital. Afterwards, Gabriel asks Arch, "Why did you lie to me that you had memory loss?" Hearing this, Arch gives a straightforward answer. "Look, brother, my old life was very pathetic, very poor. I spent my life in a lot of hardship. There is no fun or peace there, but there is a lot of fun in Jeff's life. And still, I didn't want to come into Jeff's life. You gave me this life. So now, since I am spending my life well, what is your problem?" But Gabriel says, "If you really wanted to change your life, you could have changed it long ago. Now, I just feel bad for Jeff. Because until you truly feel that your life is also worth living, You won't be able to go back, and poor Jeff won't be able to return to his real life either. Hearing this, Jeff loses his mind. He says, "Hey brother, who would want to go back to that life? I have been living this poor life for 4 days. I have seen it, brother. No one would want to return to this life." In response, Arch says, "Then let's go home. I mean your home. The 3 of us brothers will have a blast there comfortably." So then, the 3 of them comfortably enter the steam bath. They start having fun together, living life comfortably. But right then, Martha suddenly shows up to meet Gabriel. She says, "I gave you such an easy task. Just stop people from texting while driving. But you overthought it, and now look at you, stuck here washing dishes and smoking cigarettes. I can see everything, you know." Gabriel admits, "Yeah, human life is actually pretty tough." He asks, "How am I supposed to show Arch new hope in his life? If you could just explain it to me." In response, Martha says, "Sometimes a lost soul doesn't need an angel. They just need a good human being." So, in the evening, the 3 of them head out to eat tacos. There, Arch runs into Elena again. She is trying to build that union again from scratch, and she realizes she has to keep trying. She lost once, so what? She won't stop fighting until she wins. After that, they all go dancing. And that's when Arch notices that Gabriel was dancing happily at first, but then suddenly, he becomes very sad. Arch follows him and asks, "What happened, bro? Why did you get so sad?" In response, Gabriel says, "I'm actually just a stupid angel. I ruined everything. I'm good for nothing. I went from being a good angel to a chain smoker. Do you realize that?" Arch replies, "You came to show me that my life was worth living, but look at how you yourself change after entering my life. But you can't give up like this." In response, Gabriel says, "Yeah, I did come to show you that, but instead of living your real life, you chose to stay in this massive, luxurious mansion." Arch says, "I don't actually want all that luxury. I just want a decent life, bro. If I go back to my own life, will I get my job back? Will I get my car or anything else back? It scares me just thinking about it. If I don't have those things, what will I do in my old life?" Gabriel says, "When I became human for the first time, I was terrified too. Nothing was going right for me either. I had to wash dishes, sleep in a car, and who knows how much more I had to suffer. But along with all that, there were good things too. I love dancing. I found a friend like Jeff. And I really like you too." Hearing these words from Gabriel, Arch says, "You are a very good angel, and I will always want you to come to me as an angel." At the same time, Elena's words also have an impact on him. "So what if I didn't win once? I won't give up until I win." While saying this, he returns to his old life. On the other hand, Jeff wakes up in his own house. There, he finds a parking ticket of Arch's. When Arch goes to retrieve his car, he sees that Jeff has already paid for his ticket. Arch calls his father and says, "Dad, nothing feels good today." His father says, "It doesn't matter, son. Problems will come in life, but I have faith that you will fix everything." Hearing this makes Arch feel much better. Meanwhile, Jeff starts making changes in his company. He says, all these food delivery robots need to be removed so that humans can do the deliveries and earn some money. The other board members try to forbid him from doing this, but he says, "I still have control of the company. I hold the most shares, so what I say goes." Over there, Arch starts that delivery job again. The one where the pressure was so high, he didn't even have time to pee. Along with that, everyone else quits that job. And now, Arch starts looking for a job as a documentary editor again. His life gradually starts getting better. But whenever he goes to eat something, he definitely keeps a portion for Gabriel. So, with this extraordinary event, today's story ends here. Let me know in the comments how you liked it. I'm signing off for today.